8:34 right now. So nearly 300 firefighters graduated from the academy earlier this month, but diversity continues to be a bit of an issue within the ranks of the country's largest fire department.
That's right. Just last weekend, the FDNY held a recruiting event targeting women. So joining us this morning to discuss why the FDNY is having a bit of trouble attracting diverse applicants and what is being done about it, FDNY Commissioner Laura Kavanagh. So Commissioner, great to have you here on a very, very busy morning.
Yeah, I have to say before we get started, obviously the shooting and killing of Officer Diller is just unimaginably heartbreaking. It's the worst call any of us can ever get in these jobs, and we always hope that's not it. And then you just see all this news this morning, and it really brings to light what it means to be in a public safety job where literally anything can happen. This bridge collapse is, sort of hard to wrap your mind around, and then one thing after another. So really highlights the work our members are doing.
Yeah, the FDNY on the front lines every day and have a tough task too of transporting Officer Diller from the hospital. So thoughts with everybody involved there. I do want to talk to you about the big recruiting event right now that's taking place for the FDNY, right? And in a time like today where you see first responders are so needed, let's talk specifically about women. How many women are in the department and how you're kind of looking to attract more?
So we're talking about firefighters here. I want to note, EMS does have a large representation of women, but among the firefighting force, we have 165 women, which is about 1%. Represents a tripling since I joined the fire department 10 years ago. So shows you how far we've come, how far we still have to go, and that's true actually nationwide of firefighting.
Yeah, and when you took this position, that was one of the things that you said that you were going to work on. But let's take a look at the numbers, though. You talked about trying to increase diversity. Out of the 298 firefighters in the most recent graduating class, only 10 of them were women, right? And the numbers speak for themselves if you take a look at the screen right there. 76% of the department is white, 13% Latino, 8% black, 2% Asian. I mean, what more can we do, though, to increase or make those numbers much better?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. One, as I mentioned, this is a challenge in firefighting across the country, so we're trying to lead the way here with some best practices, because we are the biggest and best fire department in the country. But you can really see what a challenge it is, one, because we've come so far, and that we're still, facing such low numbers, even having come so far. So there's a couple of things we know. We've done, focus groups. One of the biggest ones is just that this is a really unique job, right? This is not for everybody. It's quite competitive. We accept about 2% of applicants. And so what we've seen is you want to talk to people early about this type of work and find the people where public service is truly a passion. And we've started doing that in high schools around the city. And we see that, you see the same spark that I see in my members today in the eyes of young people. This isn't for everybody, but when it is for them, you can see them light up. This becomes more than just a job. It becomes a mission to do this kind of work.
It's like a calling.
Yeah, it really is.
So what are the eligibility requirements, right, to become a firefighter and the application process for the FDNY in particular? When does that begin?
Yeah, so we are doing our next recruitment campaign starting June 24th. So that's why we're getting the word out again. This last list we had was very diverse. So that's why we saw those diverse graduating classes, but we want that to stay that way. So, there's a written exam, there's a physical exam, and there's a medical exam, so it is quite competitive. I think what I'd want candidates to know is, one, this is special, right? This is really special work. It's a calling, and if it's for you, pursue it, right? Keep this, in your mind. It's going to take a while to get on the job. The other is that, we're here to help and mentor you. That's been true for 150 years in the fire department. This has always been a job that people talk to their friends and family about how to do it, and we're just trying to extend that to, a new group of people, and especially in my case, I'm trying to talk to women in the city about it, but we're really talking to kids all over the city to say, if this is your passion, here's how you get on the job, here's how you train, and it takes real work, and that's okay. It takes real work to do something this great, and we have the programs for them.
While we have you here, we wanted to ask you about the promotion ceremony from earlier this month where there was an outburst while the Attorney General, Letitia James, was speaking. What's the latest on that? Were you able to identify the firefighters that were involved, and will there be disciplinary action?
So we were actually never trying to identify the individual firefighters. I think there was some, bad information out there about that. What we were trying to talk to, and still are talking to our members about, is we were in a church, and we have the benefit, which is very rare in this day of age, of having the support of both parties and of sort of the entire political spectrum, and we want to keep that. So we've been talking to our members about, our decorum, about how we behave in a church, about how we welcome anybody who supports the fire department. We support, and those conversations are ongoing. We don't want to see that happen again, but certainly because we're the best and the most professional.
Yeah, well, there was a chief who sent out a note saying that we're looking for people.
Yeah, that was bad information. He did pull that back, and he has apologized.
Gotcha. All right. Commissioner, appreciate it. Thank you. Keep us posted on the diversity numbers, too. I want to talk to you about batteries, but we're out of time. There's just so much going on today. So next time we'll talk about the battery issue.
Thanks for taking the time to come in.